Hello, my dear. Rhonda Constant, your favorite hometown medium, physical energy healer, oracle card advisor, paranormal investigator, voice for your loved ones. How are you today? I don't know why I look so crooked. I feel like crooked. I feel like I'm crooked. What the heck? Anyway, well, there's nothing right about me. So, I don't remember doing a reading for you before, so I'd like to explain real quick kind of how this works. I see, hear, feel, sense, know. They talk to me, but they also show me pictures, and I call it spiritual charades. Try to describe the picture the best that I can. They never waste a message. There is always a reason for whatever they show or say. So if it doesn't make any sense now, you'll either remember it later, see it later, or somebody else will validate it for you later and go, I know what she's talking about. This is not an exact science. We communicate the best way we can. Sometimes you have to stretch it outside the box a little bit. She won't give me a lot of details. Details are not my business. She'll give me just enough so you should know what she's referring to. So we're going to talk. Going to talk to your mom today. I love that nickname, Yogi. That is cool. So, sorry. I read it a minute ago, but I'm so old that my brain, it goes right out the other side. Oh, she comes in with so much sweet, loving energy. So it's like an overabundance of sweet, peaceful, loving energy. I love you so much, baby cakes. And then she's talking about patty cake, patty cake. So I usually ask them, don't go too far back when you're too young because you won't remember. So I don't know if you remember her playing patty cake with you, or if you have recently played patty cake with a child yourself and she's validating that. It could be either one. Okay, it looks like herself pushing a lawnmower and like really leaning forward, like pushing hard, like there's obviously no self-propelled thing in it, and just sweating. So I don't know if she used to do this all the time, if that's what she's trying to get through, or if you recently, or somebody very close to you recently had to do this, like in your yard. I usually ask them to validate at least a couple things so you know for sure it's them, but not the whole reading. Good. She says, as far as her passing, and I should explain that I have asked them not to show me exactly how they passed unless they really need to, because I would feel it, smell it, see it, and then I would cry after every reading. So it was very traumatic for me. But she snaps her fingers like that. She said it was just like that, and poof, I was there. Just poof, I was there. She said, I didn't see any tunnel. I didn't see any light. It was just like immediate poof. So whatever it might have looked like to you on this side, there was no struggle. There was no hesitation. She said, and especially there was no pain. You did everything perfectly. Down to the gnat's ass arrangements, everything perfectly. It was my time. She wants me to explain to you what they've taught me is before we come here, we decide an exit point. Why, I don't know. It can be when you're 1 day old, it can be when you're 100 years old. That timeline can waver just a smidgen depending on what the people around that person is going to learn from their passing. So it's like when they say your number's up, and that sounds so cruel, but it's kind of true because you've already determined that it's predestined before you even come here. And she says she knew that. She knew it. Maybe not consciously, but she did subconsciously. She knew it. And she was, see if I can make the same sound. She's going, like the angels, she went, did you do it or did an angel do it? It was like, ta-da! I can't do it quite like she's doing it. I figured I couldn't. It's like, ta-da! And there it was. And it's like, I was bask in a light, an extreme light, but it's not like the white light of the tunnel that she already said she didn't see. This is like golden light coming down on her. Well, I don't know that I've seen this before. It's kind of like a big ray of sunlight, but it's golden. It's gold, and it kind of comes down like a shower on her. And she said that's what it was like. And she reached her hand up. There's a man grabbing it. Hang on, you asked something along that line. There's a man grabbing it. And she says, then it was poof, I was there. And it was very joyous. It was very loving. I'm asking her, let's go back, because I want to see something else. So, as she was laying there, there was a man standing there. And I almost always see, usually behind the head of the bed, a very beautiful angel. There's also an older man and lady. Could be her parents, could be grandparents. And they were all standing there peacefully, just waiting. So this is almost always what they show me. There's always loved ones that come for you. And you know that they're there, even if you can't articulate it, or even if you don't want to admit it, but you know that they're there. And it makes it peaceful for you because you see your loved ones. And if you talk to anybody that works in nursing homes, they will start pointing, or they will start talking about their husband that passed, or their parents that passed, or something, as if talking to them in the room, because they see them. And usually a few days before they pass. That doesn't mean if you see things like that you're going to pass. But they come to bring you comfort, to bring you comforting energy, to bring you love energy, to bring you peace. So it's not, I don't want to say tragic. Tragic isn't the right word. So it's not, what's the word I want to use? Stressful. You're peace. You feel safe. You know it's going to be okay. And I was in the room when my mother-in-law passed, and it's before I even knew any of this. And she was looking at something over in the corner and just staring at it and just staring at it. But it was a soft stare. And I thought, what is she looking at? What does she see that we don't see? So know that on her end, it was extremely peaceful. And she says, once it got to that point, I didn't want to stay. Even if I could have, I didn't want to. I don't think I can explain the overwhelming amount of love that comes into a room when these people, spirits, whatever you want to call them, your departed loved ones, come to claim you. Ooh, that sounds like spook movie something. When they come to help you home, and it's an overwhelming, loving energy that I cannot describe because it's something way different than what we have here. It's way, way bigger. She's playing hopscotch. Yeah, that's something for us older people. I don't think kids even play hopscotch anymore. You know, where you draw the squares on the pavement. And I don't even remember how you're supposed to how you know which square to hop on. But anyway, hopscotch. Don't know if you guys have recently done it, or maybe you're going to see somebody doing it in a movie. You might see a picture walking through the store of somebody playing hopscotch, a little kid. You might hear somebody say it. Doesn't matter. That will be one sign from her to you. I ask them for unique signs because everybody knows about feathers and cardinals and everything. Something unique for you. Hopscotch. Could even be a little sip of scotch, she said. And she's giggling. She's making me giggle. I am perfectly fine. Everything to the gnat's ass was perfect. And she says, actually, I didn't care because I wasn't going to be here anymore. So she said it's more my motto. She's saying my motto. Funerals are for the living. They're not for the ones that have passed. Funerals are for the living. She said all those details, all those things, my stuff, don't care because I don't need it anymore. Whatever kind of service you had for her, she's showing that she was sitting by you, and she was sitting, doesn't have to be exact, but I always like to say it exact the way they show it just in case. Sitting on your right side, sitting by you, and patting the back of your hand. Patting your arm, patting the back of your hand. So usually when you're in really deep grief, to me it's backwards because it's hard for them to get through and let you know they're okay or give you signs or anything like that. Deep grief is like a wall around you, which to me, that's when you need to know. That's when you need some comfort. And the more the grief subsides, the more you'll be able to see the signs and feel her and stuff. We'll go back to that in a minute. She's talking about the last little trinket. The last little trinket. I don't know if she's talking about jewelry. That's kind of, that one you're going to probably have to stretch outside the box. Last little trinket. But anyway, so if you just think about it when you were sitting at whatever her service was. I don't even know if the service was actually going on. You might remember like going like this, like, what the heck is bothering me? And it could be on the left arm. It doesn't have to be the right. She was sitting there. He was standing there. And they were there to bring you some loving, peaceful energy at that time in your life. She's talking about a roller coaster and roller skates. I feel more like something is an emotional roller coaster, but I don't think the roller skates have anything to do with that. Like an emotional roller coaster, then there's something about roller skates. So maybe recently you went skating, or you have kids that skate out on the sidewalk, or you bought somebody some skates, or whatever. You found some skates in the house. I don't know. I wish it would sometimes give a little more detail. She's very happy that you're moving on. Oh, and the other thing I was going to tell you is my mother-in-law, she held out. She held out. And in that, like I said, when she passed, it was before I was even knew all this stuff. And she passed on her husband's birthday, and he had been gone several years. She held out and did that on purpose. And I told everybody, she did that on purpose. She willed it to happen that way. Same thing. Same thing in your case. And my husband didn't even realize it. And I thought I told him. And we were at the cemetery one day, and he goes, look at the dates. And I knew that when it happened. And she was bullheaded enough to do it. Don't get me. I wasn't her favorite person. So you're going to be feeling that patting more. So know when you get any sign, or even if you think it's a sign, what does it hurt to believe it? Validate her, acknowledge her, tell her you love her, and ask her to bring you more signs. Give her permission and talk to her all you want to, because I promise you 1,000% she can hear you, she can see you. Talk to her all you want to. Mother Mary, comfort me. Speaking words of wisdom, let it be, let it be. She's singing is a Beatles song, Let It Be. Hang on, let me ask Alexa. Yes, it is the Beatles song, Let It Be. So go YouTube, Google, whatever you want to do to that song. And there'll be some words in that song from her. And you may hear this song. It may just pop up. You could be walking through the store and it could be on their music thing and you hear Let It Be playing. Know that that'll be another sign from her. Or even the Beatles could be a sign from her. I think she liked the Beatles. Okay, with that she's leaving. Okay, much love to you, my dear. Thank you for being patient. Anyway, Rhonda Constant, your favorite hometown medium, physical energy healer, oracle card advisor, paranormal investigator, voice for your loved ones. See you later.